What's going on, guys? This is Brandon from Advancement Hockey Advising here, and today we'll be talking about how to choose which hockey program to sign with. But before we dive into the video here, just a quick reminder to absolutely smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share the video if you like the content. Also, if you have any questions throughout this video or want to talk to us about anything, feel free to drop a comment down below, or if you want to talk to us privately, you can email us at info@ahadvising.com and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And as always, there will be timestamps throughout the video, so if you want to go ahead and click on a specific section, you can, but if you want to stay and watch the entire video, you can too. It's completely up to you. All right, so we're making this video here because choosing where to sign and where you want to play can be quite a challenging decision at times, right? Especially when things are really close. And it can be tough to know what to prioritize, which program is actually good and which, are kind of, just talking a big game but aren't really backing it up. I totally get that. It's hard to decide. And, that's the whole point of this video. It's why we made it, is to give you clear guidelines that you can follow so you can make the best possible decisions and sign with the best possible team that you can. All right, before we dive in though, just a quick note. In this video, we're assuming you've already reached out to all your target coaches, that you cast a wide net, and now you're more of getting feedback from the coaches and hearing back and kind of gauging interest and all that stuff. You've done all that. You're more in the final stages of the negotiation, right, to see where exactly you're going to sign. So we're assuming that you've done all the other work, or your advisor, your coach has done all the other work, and now you're in the end game here. Also, a quick disclaimer before we dive in. These guidelines, as with all our guidelines, are very general here. They're not individualized to you. Your situation is unique, and you should definitely talk to an expert before making a decision, right? Don't just watch this video and make a decision off the bat. Talk to an expert first. Talk to a coach, an advisor, anyone that that's knowledgeable in this area. Talk to them before you go ahead and make your decision. All right, so the first thing to consider, the first guideline here, is to only go and consider teams that really want you, right? Any teams that don't really want you, that aren't saying that they really value and that feel that you're going to be a good part of their program, don't go to those teams. Even if they're very highly ranked teams and they're known as great programs, if the coach is indifferent about you, doesn't really, want to commit to you or is not sure, all that kind of stuff. If you have other options where coaches really want you, take those all day over the coaches that don't really want you. Trust me on this one. If a coach doesn't really want you, it's not going to help your development. It's not going to help your exposure, and it's not going to help, your mindset and confidence. It's really going to, make you go downward and, question your mindset, question your confidence, question your abilities. It's not a good path. And because you're not going to be getting playing time, right? You're not going to feel like a valued member of the team. It's just not a great situation. Trust me, I've learned from experience, and other players I know have learned from experience as well. Always your best to go with a coach that wants you. That's the first thing, the first rule you should follow. And from there, once you have a handful of coaches to follow, we're going to move on to our next guideline here. All right, now from there, moving on to guideline number 2 here, is that once you have a handful of programs and coaches that really want you, from there, pick the best option out of all of those, right? You want to pick the one that's going to be the best and that you're going to excel the most at. Now, the key question that you're probably asking yourself is, how do I determine which is the best out of all those options? There's a lot of factors that go into it. I would say, yes, there are a lot of factors, but there's 4 main criteria you should kind of look at to pick which one's going to be the best fit for you. So the first criteria that's going to be the most important is the program/the league's ranking. This is by far the most important. Like we said before in other videos, the first thing coaches do when they look up a player is to see where they played, right? And what program they played in. It's so important to go in a high quality program, because if you're in a kind of a lower quality program, a lot of coaches just won't give you the time of day. They really have a certain standard, a certain threshold that they look at to pick their players from. So really try and play for the best program possible. And out of all your options, that's the first thing you should prioritize, to see where the program is situation in terms of ranking and all that stuff. So for minor hockey programs, I would say myhockeyrankings.com is the best place to go for this. It gives you a good idea of a program's ranking and where they stand and everything. And for junior hockey programs, it's not so clear, but what we've done is we made probably our most popular video to date is a rankings video on all the different junior A leagues and which ones are the best for NCAA, and you can go ahead and click on that video up here if you want to, but if not, you can just follow along and we'll name the rest of the criteria here. But yeah, overall, that's what it looks like. Where the program or the league stands is extremely important, and that should be your top priority after coaches wanting you type thing. All right, so the second criteria you should prioritize here is that you have a good coach at that program, right? Having a good coach can really make a huge difference. I would say, a bad coach can really sink you, and a great coach can really help you develop, get exposure, and excel, right? It's really, really important. We made a video, detailing the difference between a good coach and a bad coach. You can go ahead and click that up here if you want to. But overall, try and find a good coach with a good track record where people say great things about them. And if you can find that, that's a really, really big plus that you want to look for in the program that you're looking at. All right, so the third criteria that you can look at here is cost. I would say, it's not as important as the other things we mentioned before, but it is important, right? Money doesn't just grow on trees, and I know for a lot of people, hockey is expensive, and you want to try and get the biggest bang for your buck. If you have two programs that are relatively equal, even if one outweighs the other one slightly, sometimes cost can, take the cake and be the primary motivator here for your decision. So I totally get that. I would say a good trick for this, try and aim for free-to-play leagues if you can. If you can't, if you're not really in the cards, I would say the next best thing you can do is talk to the coach. If you really want to, see if he can offer you a discount or what the best deal that he can offer you. We do this for our clients, and often we can get, some sort of a better price down, and kind of go from there. If they can't do that, well, that's unfortunate. Then you're gonna have to decide, okay, is this worth going to at full price or not, or if you can afford it and all that stuff. Pro tip over here, if you have multiple teams that are interested in you and multiple teams want you and they really want you, use that as leverage, right? Use it as a negotiation tactic to kind of drive down the price as much as you can and kind of see who gives you the best bid. I would say that's a great tactic that you can use, and that's what we use as well for players that are wanted by multiple teams. And last but not least, criteria number 4 here are the facilities and the location. Now you might be thinking, wait, the facilities, the location, that's really important, right? How great a team looks and all that stuff. Well, not so much, right? It is important. It is a factor. You don't want to play somewhere where it's a complete dump in the middle of nowhere. I understand that, right? Mental health, it's important to play somewhere where you're inspired and all that. But that being said, most of you guys, the end goal is NCAA hockey, right? NCAA hockey coaches really don't care about a program's facilities. They care about the advancement, the quality of the program, how good the coach is, the quality of the players there. That's what they really care about. The facilities, not so much. And I would say, kind of put facilities on the back burner when you're looking at, minor hockey programs and junior hockey leagues and junior hockey programs. I would say kind of put that on the back burner, and even the location too, and really focus on going to a quality program with a great coach where the cost is reasonable. I would say that's the biggest thing to focus on. Even if you have to play somewhere where the facilities and location aren't great, it's only temporary, right? It's not a huge deal, and I would say it's not what you should, prioritize things on. Now that being said, similar to the cost, if there's two programs that are relatively equal in all the other aspects we talked about, if one has nicer facilities than the other, we'll take the one with the nicer facilities and location, right? But if you have one option that checks all the other boxes where the facilities and the location aren't great, it's going to be kind of a grind. Well, I would say strongly consider taking it anyways. If it's really going to help you with your future goals, I would say it's worth grinding out a year or two over there and doing good and kind of enduring those not so great facilities or location if it's going to help you accomplish that end goal. So I would say obviously it's something for you to consider. It's something for you to talk to your family, to your coach about, and all that stuff. But this is just my opinion on that matter. All right, so let's just do a quick recap of the most important points. By far, the most important guideline to follow when you're choosing which team you're going to sign with is to only go with teams that really want you to start, right? Only consider those teams. The other ones, kind of brush them aside. And from there, once you have a basket of teams that really want you, choose the best one. Now, again, like we talked about, the criteria to choose the best team in order of priority. 1, the program/league ranking, right? Super important, number 1. 2, how good the coach is. 3, the cost of the program and the league. And then 4 is the facilities and the location. All right, guys, that is it for the video. If you liked it and you haven't already, feel free to absolutely smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share the video if you liked it. Also, if you thought of any questions throughout the video, if you thought about anything you want to talk to us about, feel free to drop a comment down below, or if you want to message us privately, you can email us at info@ahadvising.com and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Also, if you want to find out more about us, we have a ton of other platforms you can follow us on. You can follow our Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, our website, newsletter, anything like that by hitting the link down in the description below. It'll give you nice access to all of it. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on that next one.